My bike is off!
Alright, so I need to do an oil change on this WR here. So I need to go grab a filter. And on top of that, my shoes here are starting to get all blowed out. I got a couple of holes in them. So I think I'm gonna see if I can kind of just maybe run up to the shop real quick and grab an oil filter, and I guess I'll look at their boots. Just take you along with me. We'll just have a grand old time. We'll talk about silly things. I'll tell you a crazy story about a guy that came to my house the other night, and we'll just talk about other dumb bull. Contemplate life.
Taking the back road. Come back here and see these nice pretty country houses and just the good old boys growing the meth, losing their teeth and making themselves dumb in the head. Alright dude, I gotta tell you what happened the other night. It's like 3 in the morning and my doorbell rings. 14 degrees outside that night. That's pretty cold. I think that's like -6 or something Celsius. It's chilly outside. Doorbell rings, and at first it rings at just like, you kind of sit up and you're like, you're literally like dreaming, you know? So you're like, did the doorbell just ring? Did we hear that right? I asked my wife, I was like, Sean! My wife with a boy's name, but spelled with an SH, but yeah, you know, I'm used to it now. I realize when I say it to other people, like, your wife's name is Sean. You're married to a dude, aren't you? Yep, I am. And this dude had a baby out of his ass. Isn't that cool? Doorbell just ringing. She's like, yeah, but it's not supposed to, so it's okay. Just go back to bed. She's clearly, you know, you're just out of it, and logic is not right quite. Like, your eyes are open and your mouth is moving, but the part of your brain that makes sense ain't there yet, and you're just making noise. And that's what she was doing. So I was like, no, the f***ing doorbell just rang, and then boom, it goes again. I grab my phone, make sure, is anybody texting me, calling me? It could be a f***ing emergency, dude. But, you know, also could be some Clockwork Orange. Maybe just come from a milk bar for all I know. I don't know who it is. My mind's racing. I'm like, all right, let me go to the door. Wink, wink. I got my peephole. There's this dude out there. Looks like he's in his 20s. Some like windbreaker looking pants on. Like a pretty light little fleece jacket. So he's obviously cold as shit, for one. That's the first thing I noticed. He's kind of got a little bit of a jitter there. And he's standing there looking at the door. And he rings the doorbell again. I'm like, I don't know this guy. I really don't. I see him looking back at my truck too. Right there in the corner of my truck, there is like a Jake the TheGardenSnake sticker. Although it's all smashed in right now, but still there. And I'm thinking, what if the guy knows who I am and he's a little bit off? You know, a little, you know, it could happen. I crack the door and ask him, yeah, can I help you? Yeah, I just need to get a jump from my truck, man. My truck won't start. I gotta go to work. I just need to get a jump. And he's kind of like pulling back his truck, like he's kind of half stepping, like, come on, follow me and help jump my truck. This breaks my brain. I'm still feel like I'm not 100% there yet. I'm going, wait, what? Like, this is your approach, just to go blow someone's door up, and then when they answer, you go, yeah, I need a jump. Not like oh, hey, I'm sorry. I know this is really fucking awkward. Just immediately into like, yeah, I need a jump. Like, I felt like it was if he was my brother that lived next door, and I knew his truck wasn't starting, and I already should have been aware of it. Like, that's the sort of approach he had that made sense to me. Like, yeah, come on, bro, you know my truck isn't starting. Get out of here, man. I gotta get to fucking work. So my brain still hasn't really computed everything, and I asked him, well, do you have jumper cables? He goes, let me go check. Just runs off to his truck. And I shut the door, and I kind of sit there and go, okay. And I walk back to the room and start putting pants on. Not because I even know what I'm going to do yet. I'm just like, I need to, like, not be in my underwear anymore. Right? It now feels prudent that I have some clothes on. So I start getting dressed, and my wife's like, what's going on? And I start telling her, and she's like, this is weird as fuck. How do you not know he's got some guy out there waiting to jump you? I'm like, yeah, I know. That's right. She's seen Clockwork Orange as well. I'm still sitting here trying to, you know, figure out what the hell is going on, and like why this just the whole approach, everything about this just feels weird. If it wasn't 3 in the morning, that would help quite a bit. I understand, yeah, you know, it happens. Like I like on the one hand, I'm like, if this guy's really out there and needs a hand, like I kind of want to help him, you know. I don't want to be a dick, but the approach, the time of night it was, the fact that I've never seen you before, and I'm pretty well aware who lives around me. I don't know you. And then here's the tipping point. As I'm sitting there, like, trying to figure out what I think, my doorbell rings again. I guess he's gone and looked at his truck to see whether he has his cables or not. Like every 20-30 seconds, this kid's just ringing my doorbell, just out there, ding dong. What are you doing, guy? My kid awake now. My dogs is all like, the f is going on? They're not even barking. That was the funniest thing. My dogs would bark their ass off, I would think. But even they were like on all high alert. They're like, the f is happening? My wife's got a shotgun over there. She's like, call the police. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna call the police. I hate to be that guy. Gotta make sure I don't pass a cop doing this. the police. And I just tell them straight up what's going on. And they're like, yeah, no problem. They're there in like I swear for like a minute. It was amazing how fast they showed up. Came in on both sides of the street and lit this kid up with them big old LED light bars. You know, they got those super mega light bars now, all the cop cars have. I look out the window and I'm watching what's going on, and I can see the body language goes from defensive to, you know, pretty relaxed pretty quick, and one of the cops leaves. So I said, all right, we'll go out there and see what the hell's going on. And one of the other officers comes over and starts telling me, he goes, yeah, apparently he was over at some house over here, and now his truck won't start. And I did see his truck over there with the hood popping. Start feeling kind of like a now, like, damn, I called the police on you. I just gotta tell this kid, like, you gotta watch your approach, dude. I mean, did I help some people in the middle of the night? I basically had a guy die in my arms like that in the middle of the night. Someone come beating on my door, an old dude, and that was a fucking crazy situation. Understand the position you're putting me in. You're weirding me out, and I got a kid and a wife and some silly little doggies in the house. Got me in that raised eyebrow mode, that high alert kind of like, I don't trust this shit. Anyway, getting to talking to him. Here's the funniest shit. So he was over at my neighbor's house, apparently, seeing one of the girls over there. I guess there's a young girl who lives there, and I think her cousin or friend was staying with her too at the time. The cop's like, why don't you get them to help you out? He goes, well, see, the parents don't exactly know I was over there. I'm like, yeah, it's 3 in the morning. This is making, you know. Well, as it turns out, he was over there kind of doing some sneaky shit. And his truck wouldn't start, and I guess he actually did go back over there and knocked on the door. The parents were like, we don't know who you are, and she's like, yeah, I don't know this kid. Oh, no, I can deny this dude. Like, I don't know this guy. He's sitting there saying, well, I gotta go to work. I don't know what to do. And the cop goes, well, figure it out. And he looked at me, and I was like, yeah, you want to play big boy games, you gotta play with big boy rules. You came over here to do some adult shit. Be an adult. I'm not really like feeling like jumping your shit off of my car right now. Sorry to be kind of a dick to you, man. I get the situation. I can even be kind of sympathetic to it. Maybe I was being a bit of a to him, but I hope you understand from my standpoint, man. Having a kid, having a wife in the house, dude, like, sorry, dude, I ain't taking that risk, man. I don't know who you are. I'm always kind of hesitant to jump people I don't know. Sometimes there's other issues than just a dead battery, and they're gonna say it's your fault. I don't know, am I an asshole or am I not? I'll put up one of those little poll voting things, voting polls about what kind of polls to use for the poll vote. Someone get punched straight in the teeth. Sorry, the weather's so gloomy, by the way. Why am I sorry? I can't control the weather. It is what it is, mate. If I could control the weather, it'd be sunny, and of course, naked women was just like, you know, it would rain naked women. Why do people say shit like that? That'd be terrible. Women falling out of the sky? Not like gonna like just pick these fucking women up and fuck them, okay? First of all, they have a choice. You need to show some respect. Second of all, they're dead. Just fell out of the fucking sky. That looks like fun.
Pretty blown out, as you can see. I'm gonna grab these ones though. These are just gonna wear them out of here. I'm just gonna walk. I'm just gonna leave. No one's gonna notice.
My new kicks there. I still like that kind of more. I feel like that's meant for, you know, like Harley dudes and cruiser guys. These more combat style, but they just, I don't know, man. They work for me. I like them. I can make that gap. Watch this. Breaking in the new shoes. Hard breaking. That guy, he's just like cool. He's a cool guy. He's so cool. Can't look back and be like, what's up? Look at these people. I don't fucking trust you, mother. So there's like a local hockey team around here, right? Called the Allen Americans. It's a terrible name, I know. America's great. No, don't get me wrong. Yeah, what's up, guy? Land of the free. Because there's nobody else that's free, apparently. We're the only ones. What if we did a thing? What if, like, just for like a local kind of fun hangout deal, we just had like where we all go to like a hockey game. Maybe I'll call up there and see what we can figure out, you know, see if I get like some kind of deal. They always want you when you do things like that, like, oh, how many are you gonna have? What's your group? Like, as if I have like the funds and everything right there. It's like, I have no idea. I want to make a deal where people can like, you know, like I'll say like, hey, I'm gonna go to this game at this time, sitting in this seat. Why don't you come and like sit around me? See if they can't like maybe hold off an area for like a, you know, a couple weeks before the game or something like that. We get like 30, 40 people to go. I think that'd be badass. You know, just show up to a game, come hang out with me, drink some beers, and yeah.
What do you think about going to a hockey game with me, Jake? Does it sound fun? Would you like to do that? Comment in the comments and let me know. I must know so I can make decisions. Okay, I love you. Goodbye.